wanted to make a joke, but then I was like, maybe only the French people are gonna understand it, and that made me sad. I was gonna do like something like this. Why am I dancing? Fuck! I wanted to start with this, but this is the news music for French people. Everyone else wouldn't have understood it. It looks like I'm reporting the news. Welcome to VTuber News. All right, today a VTuber showed her tits on Twitter. No, I'm just kidding. Hello. I'm doing a podcast for people who are new here. Hello, I'm Ayu, your favorite cult leader, waifu. Been a streamer for 2 years, and I'm starting this new thing where I'm gonna have a podcast and just, you know, chat about streaming, my experience, the pros and the cons. Since it is my full-time job at the moment, and it has been for about a year. I feel like I have, you know, the experience to talk. Yeah. So if you're like a newbie who wants to get into streaming, someone who in general is interested by it, doesn't know if they want to do it as a hobby or get into it as a job, wants to know, you know, what's the good sides, what's the bad side of doing it, all that, I am here for you. I will help you, okay? This is what I'm gonna focus on today. And yeah, we're just gonna be chill, we're gonna be comfy, and you guys can ask me some questions more towards the end, unless the question directly like involves what I'm talking about. But then at the end, you guys are like free to ask any kinds of questions, and I'll be 100% transparent. I already have some guests planned for the next few weeks. It won't probably be every single week, but whenever I can plan it, it'll happen on Sunday. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited. Today I'm on my own because I feel like to start off a podcast about streaming, I need to talk about my own experience first, you know what I mean? And then get other people on and like talk about theirs, but yes, you guys will have a test at the end. We're making a Kahoot. I'm gonna test you guys. Remember, take notes, everybody. Get your pencils out. Are you noted? Now, get your pencils out. I'm just gonna start speaking about my experience. If you guys have any questions about my experience, feel free to drop them while I'm talking about it. And then any general questions that I haven't touched upon, we can do that at the end. Okay? I've been streaming for about 2 years and 2 months? No, more. 2 years and 3 months, I believe. I started in June of 2020, so during the pandemic hit, you know? Pretty fucking obvious. Most of us have done it. Most of us have done that. I actually you know, people have such crazy things of why they start streaming, right? Like, oh, I love art and technology and stuff. And then there's me. The reason why I started streaming is because someone told me that I sounded entertaining and I should do it. I was like, okay. That's all it took me. Okay. That's fine. All right. You want to see me stream? I'll do it. That's it. So yeah, I was a big part of a VR chat community, and I was not a streamer at the time. I did try to stream very, very early on, and I think my Wi-Fi was just shit, so I gave up immediately. But then like a group of people thought I was pretty funny, and they were like, does this girl have a Twitch? Like, I think she's kind of cool. And I was like, oh no, like I don't do Twitch. I'm sorry, I don't stream. And I got on their like Discord server and everything, and people kept telling me like, hey, we think you're fucking funny. You know, if you were to stream, we would support you. And I was like, I mean, I've never tried it again, so I decided to give it a shot. And 4th of June 2020 is the day that I started streaming for the first time. Guess what kind of stream it was? Can you guess the category? It was fucking VR chat, and it was the laggiest thing ever. Holy crap. But my friends were there because, you know, they were like, ooh, first stream, let's go, let's support this bitch. So yeah, I was just having fun with my friends, and I didn't really, I don't know, I didn't really think about preparing things. I was just having fun. And yeah, just things went really quick for me. I did, after that, start thinking about streaming something else in VR chat, and I found, that software called VMagic Mirror. And basically thank you, Silence, I appreciate it. Basically, I had my VR chat model put on that software, and believe it or not, I started without a webcam. All right, so I had no tracking devices, not a single one. No phone, no webcam, nothing. So what I did was use my mouse. I tracked my model's face with my mouse. Like when it moved to the left and the right, she just went like this. That's it. So, free model, alright? I did not even spend a penny on it. It was free. Zero. Nada. No webcam, no equipment. My PC was pretty bad at the time, actually. My CPU was quite bad. And, I had no overlays. I did make something random. I think I took a picture from Google and then, like, cropped it to make some kind of overlay. But it was disgusting. It was the nastiest shit ever, I can tell you. It was really, really bad. But that's okay. The thing is, I didn't start from greatness. I did not start with $1,000 model. I did not start with thousands of followers. I did not start with 100 viewers. None of that, alright? I started with 5 of my friends trying to support my streams by watching it. No money, zero. And yeah, like a free model and no overlays. So, yeah, and I streamed like that for quite a while, you know what I mean? Like, some people take even longer than that. Some people can do that for a whole year. I started like this, and I think it lasted about 2 months before I got my first Twitch paycheck. And I'm one of the lucky ones, alright? So do not panic. Do not panic. There is a lot of you guys that will not receive a paycheck until the 5th month, 7th month, or maybe even a year. So that we're clear, okay? It's because my friends decided to help me out. And that's it. Alright, so just you don't. So most people start out with 0 viewers and it lasts for quite a bit. So don't feel like you are less or whatever. It's totally okay. I was one of the fast ones because I grew really interested in marketing, and I marketed myself really, really early, which is why I think I can give some like pretty decent advice. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, let me show you my first ever model. Technically, this wasn't mine. This is a model I took from DeviantArt. Do you see the pattern? Do you see what stayed? Do you see what stayed? This was my first model, but it wasn't a model I streamed with ever. It was a model that I used for VR chat only. And it kind of, like, that's where my, like, model inspiration came from. And then my friend and I decided, you know, we want to make like an actual model for you, but we want to make it, you know, more like what you want. And so I decided to keep whatever was under the eyes. This one does look like it's mascara, all right? This one does. Mine are not mascara for the last fucking time. No, I'm just kidding. I get that it's confusing, but no, what's under my eyes is not mascara. I know, crazy shit. Oh god, there's also this one. Oh, oh my god, I used the Kana version of myself for a while as well. Not on stream, but she's so funny. But yeah, see, I didn't start with the highest quality model. Not to say that this one's bad. I think this one's still cute. Like, it brings me a lot of memories. I think it's really adorable. Look at this bitch. Where did that picture even come from? Basically, this could help you. This is the pipeline of IUs. Ta-da! Do you see the first IU? Do you see this thing? Right here? Yeah? And that's where I started. That was the IU model that I started with. And then after my first paycheck, I got a 2D, like a 3D model commissioned from my friend. And I still have the pictures of like it being in process and everything. That is very old. That was August of 2020, September of 2020, I think so. This was made in Vroid with a little bit of Blender in it. Nothing, you know, it's not like an insane quality model. I think it cost me about 200 bucks, I believe, because I got paid by, you know, obviously Twitch. If Twitch didn't pay me, I wouldn't have put that much money into a model to begin with. All right. Even 200 for me, that was a lot at the time. So my biggest, like, first tip I would give anyone is start free. Do not spend money unless you're a rich man who can definitely say that you won't regret it and that you're fine not making any single money back. At that point, with that 3D model, I started reaching about 30 to 50 average viewers, which was quite crazy. One of my biggest booms, unironically, was my birthday stream. My 2021? Or 2021 birthday stream? Yeah. I was still under that model. But since it was a celebration stream, some of my big streamer friends started raiding me. And it actually impacted my life a lot. All those raids made my stream like very big at that time. And when I restarted streaming afterwards, I was like, wait, there's like 70 people here. I'm not used to 70 people watching me. And also I streamed Resident Evil Village back when it was blowing up, and a lot of people were watching me at that time for some fucking reason. They just loved watching me play that game. But there is a lot of people that stay stuck at the 2 digits for years, and that's okay. What people have to remember is that 20 people is a classroom, right? It's a fucking classroom of people. Like, 5 people, it's a little friend group, it's close friends, etc. And it's... You don't really imagine each person being in front of you when you see a number, right? When you see a number, you're like, okay, I can do better than that, you know what I mean? You immediately think about how you can do more. But you don't think about the fact that each number is one person watching you that has a life, that has things to do, and just decided to spend their time on you. And that's really crazy because all you see is like usernames scrolling by in the chat box, and sometimes you kind of forget the human side of it. You know what I mean? You kind of just forget about that. I didn't even call myself a VTuber for like the first 3 months, actually. I didn't even know what a VTuber was. I thought it was like a prestigious title. Like, you know how when you're an artist, you don't like to call yourself an artist because you're like, no, I need to be good to be called an artist. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, I'm not a great streamer yet, so I can't call myself something like a VTuber. And yeah, that's kind of how I got started. The first 2 things I did, I'm really glad that I switched from VR chat at a very early stage. Because if I streamed VR chat for like months and months and months and then suddenly switched to, you know, normal things, playing other games, etc., I think it would have been a little... You know what I mean? It would have been a bit of a huge switch for most people. And back at that moment, I couldn't even, like, imagine spending more than like $60 on a piece of artwork because, you know, I wasn't making enough money, and thinking about buying a 2D model was just out of question. It was out of question. I was like, that is too expensive, that is too much. And one day I was like, I've been saving up my Twitch paychecks a lot. It's been quite a few months, so I want to make an investment. I want people to like get excited and everything. And so I found my artist, Gumae, that you guys may or may not know, because she drew my old model and the model I have on right now. And thus, the Ayu that probably half of people who follow me know was born. Wow! Look at her! This was the little 2D Ayu that a lot of people met me with. A lot of people. And this is by the same artist, by the way, as the one that I have right now. The same artist. Just saying. I do have a channel on my Discord that is secret to me, where I put my achievements. I wrote down a lot of my achievements. Bam. I started making a list of like all my achievements, and this is only half of it. It's really important to like write down those things because then you can look back at it and you're like, whoa, I had 1K followers on Twitter in October 2020, and now I'm at 32K. Had to advertise properly without crossing the barrier of asking. That is difficult because honestly, I do not advertise myself. I'm gonna explain. When I started streaming, I got a Twitter account because most people were active on Twitter, so it makes sense. I'm gonna be honest, you need a Twitter account if you want to do this. Seriously, you need a Twitter account. I know it's not fun, alright? I know it. Twitter's a place. I know. But you need Twitter. I tell you, it's your best, like, connection place. You need a Twitter. Back in the day, I went in communities, like, on different streams, and I started, like, just making myself at home, like, meeting other people in the community, befriending a little bit the streamer, etc., without crossing any boundaries, just being like, hey, I like your content, and then like start chatting with them about what they were talking about, then maybe join their Discord, and if they had a self-promo channel back in the day, I would sometimes post my Twitch link and be like, hey, I'm live right now, if you want to come support me, do it. Here's why I think this is actually not that useful. The amount of people that are actually gonna click on your link, very, very, very close to zero. Self-promotion channels can help you, but most of the time they won't. Because not a lot of people just scrolls through it and then pick someone to go check out. You know what I mean? Maybe when it's a friend server, sure. When it's a whole ass like random server, not a lot of people actually click on those. But for example, mine, I do use my self-promo channel for myself, like the one on my server. I use it because I scroll through people that post there. And I'm like, oh, they need a little help. And, you know, they didn't ask like meanly or anything. So I just like try to pop in sometimes and I'm like, hey, like nice stream, etc. Maybe give them a quick follow. And if one day they're live while I'm live, I can like give them a little bit of love. You know what I mean? I always try to raid people that don't have, you know, hundreds of people already. Because me, when I was at like 50 viewers, getting like a 25 viewer raid, that was insane to me. That was crazy to me. That made me feel like I was on top of the world. So that's why sometimes I'm like, I want to do this for them too. I want to be that person that I loved seeing when I was a younger streamer. TikTok is a great platform for discoverability. That is true. However, TikTok requires you to be insanely active. Like to a degree where 3 videos a week might be too little. I'm talking like maybe 4 shorts a week. And that's when you get your best. You take a 1-month break, you're fucked. Forever. You're fucked. That's just how TikTok goes, and it's really annoying because then it's burnout constantly trying to find clips that are actually funny. YouTube Shorts is about the same thing. YouTube requires being consistent most of the time. So yeah, it's kind of the same. You can't just post a random short and then it's okay and bam, you'll get millions of views. I know that the best thing you can do with TikTok is learn how the human brain works. And I know that sounds really complicated, but trust me, to become a streamer in general, you need to understand how the brain works, like the human brain works. We are in a generation where we have way more short content, right? Like we watch a lot of short videos, we consume a lot of really quick things, and sometimes it's about grabbing the attention immediately, right? If someone clicks on your TikTok and there's 2 seconds of silence before you start speaking, you're gonna get less attention. My TikToks where I start speaking immediately, the very first second where it starts, I say something. It catches people's attention and they're like, oh, I want to stay because now I'm interested. But it's about a lot of things, right? Like streaming is more than just sitting down and talking to people. You need to practice your charisma when you speak. When I started streaming, I did not sound like that. I did not sound like that. My accent, sure, maybe. A little bit less good, maybe. But I did not sound like that. I did not have that much punch into my voice. I sounded, you know, maybe a bit more like this, you know what I mean? I talked to people like that. And when I was playing games, I was like, oh, look, there's a thing in the corner. That's funny, right? There's absolutely no life inside of my voice. No life. The thing is, a good speech is, you know, how you can grab people with your voice. And it could be because your voice is cozy, right? It could be because your voice is very deep, but it needs to still grab people's attention somehow. Content, truthfully, nearly everything has been done. Nearly everything has been done. Trying to find something unique to do will burn your head to the ground. Trust me, I have. I've been thinking about, like, how can I make something original no one has done before? And truthfully, even if it is something no one has done before in your, like, specific streaming thing, if you yourself as a person are not, like, entertaining, and people don't really like you as a person but only come for the content, then once that specific event is done, no one is gonna remain from the event. They're all gonna leave. Because, ooh, cool content is gone. Now, person remaining is kinda boring. So I'm not gonna come back. And it hurts, it's really painful. I think the worst that I've seen, big advice as well, people who want to play VR chat, fine, do whatever you want. Avoid playing with people all the time, because if you base your content on the people that you're hanging out with, then no one wants to watch you when you're on your own. That's the thing, right? There's tons of VR chat streamers that have made it because their friend group was huge, and the problem is they realize after a bit that if they were to sit down, do a just chatting stream, no one would talk to them. Because, oh, I came to your streams because you usually hang out with blah blah blah. And they're very, very fun. But you on your own, I don't feel the same vibe. And then they don't come to your stream, they want to go to the others. So, still keep a focus on solo content, even if it's hard. You need a space for yourself, unless you plan your entire life to stream with that person, which you probably don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Friendships break, distance happens, you probably don't want to do that. At all. And it's okay to do collabs here and there. Collabs can be really, really funny, as long as you don't depend on them to keep people interested in you. Right? Like, my 90% of my content is me being alone. And I will start doing more, like, collabs when it comes to this podcast thing, because it interests me to, like, give you guys some insight about other people's experiences and, you know, have some fun and some laughs and do something new. But the rest of the week, I'm on my own. I'm doing stuff alone. It will be, like, once a week, maybe, like, twice a month sometimes. So, you know what I mean? I'm not entirely relying myself on that to be able to make content. So the biggest tips, take notes y'all, take notes, get your little crayons out. The biggest tips that I have is, well, first of all, yeah, do not start streaming as a job, okay? Do not think about money when you start. Think about, I want to make other people happy, I want to have fun, I want to do something else when I get home. Do not get the aspect of money or I want to be popular in your mind. That is the two no-nos. They're bad. You might think like, well, having a goal of being popular and making a decent, you know, wage is pretty good. I don't see what's wrong with that. And technically it isn't, but your brain is like formed to like kind of become obsessed with those things once they start slightly happening, and also to be incredibly disappointed if it doesn't. Whereas I want to make people happy. If a singular person shows up in your stream and has a better day because of you, you're already kind of there, right? You're just fulfilling your goal higher and higher every single time you start streaming again. So, yeah, my first thought when I started streaming, honestly, was just like, I don't know, like, it sounds fun. I didn't even think about making other people happy, because I didn't even know someone would watch me seriously. I thought it would just be like, my friends will do it when they're, like, bored or something, I guess. We can, like, talk. It's fun. I didn't even think about something emotional. I was just like, yeah, I mean, it'll distract me from school. I'll be able to do something during the pandemic because I'm quite bored. And that's it. That's it. I didn't have any other reasons to get into it. And now my reasons to stream are, there are people that I make happier and I make myself happier too, right? I benefit both parties, and that's why I love what I do. And the financial contributions, they are a huge part of, you know, the fact that I do this as my job. But, you know, if I didn't need money, then that would just, I wouldn't give a shit about it. Okay, I'm gonna go through a few pieces of advice really quick that I think are probably the most important ones. So yeah, first, do not get into streaming for money. Second, do not quit your full-time job for streaming. Absolutely the fuck not. Not even when you're making a wage. Even if you make a decent salary, do not quit your full-time job for streaming. Do not. Unless you are fucking loaded, like you make thousands and thousands per month. Do not quit your full-time job. I understand it sounds like a fucking dream come true. I understand. But I have so many friends of mine that started making a really good living with streaming, quit their full-time job, and then completely became irrelevant. That's probably one of the biggest ones. Silence. I get it, okay? Most of us are introverts, all right? I would say I'm an ambivert. I'm kind of, it depends on the situation a lot. A lot of us are introverts, but being silent on stream, that's not gonna help you. It is not gonna help you. I can promise you that. Not only do you need some kind of punch in your voice when you speak to keep people, like, attentive on you, but if you go silent for a long time, you're doomed as well. You're doomed. People are gonna come in, maybe be like, oh, this sounds interesting, and then they hear nothing from you, and they're like, okay, they have nothing to give me. I'm out. And that's why I've been noticing this thing where people that have maybe 50 average viewers, they speak a lot, and then when they get like popular, they blow up. You see them take way more breaks in their speech because they're like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm famous, so who gives a shit? I'll still have people watching me even if 100 leave. I've seen it because they're all tired of speaking too much. They speak so much that they're they're tired of it. So when they blow up, they're like, I'm not even gonna bother anymore. Do you think it's possible to make a post that allows streamers to support each other? Do you mean like a networking post? That's an interesting thing that I've seen. Twitter has been filled with those networking posts, right? Like, post your PNG, tell me things about yourself. And they're not bad. They don't harm anyone, so to me they're okay. But do they work? Do they work? That's the truth. Problem is, PNG posts like these, networking posts, they usually blow up really, really fast. Because a lot of people want help, a lot of people want to meet other people, make friends. So they blow up super fast. And then the person that made the post can't keep up anymore. They just can't. You can't click on every single link and then follow every single person and actually give them a chance. If 500 people answered, you're never gonna go through all of them. Never. Because like one day, I genuinely was like, I want to expand my raid list. Can you guys answer with your Twitch links? And maybe I'll raid you and give you a little hi. Well, that post blew the fuck up and there was more than 200 answers and I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure I can do that anymore, fuck. If it was like, maybe like 30 people, I could have done it, but these posts just blow up really, really, really fast. So it's really hard to keep up with them. All those things are things to take, like, into your head when you want to stream. But I think the worst topic is about to come. Oof. People are gonna be so mad about that one, but it's gonna hurt. Numbers. Let's talk about numbers, shall we? The topic that hurts. The topic that makes everyone graduate. Yippee. Losing viewers will hurt you. It will. You can't pretend that you don't care, but you also should stop speaking about it too much. Because always talking about how you think you're a failure, unfortunately, makes other people believe it. I know it sounds like terrible. Like, oh, people are nicer than that. They wouldn't think like this. The more you convince yourself you're a failure and say it to everyone, the least they want to make you believe otherwise. They get tired. They don't want to, like, be babysitting you and your feelings. So they end up being like, yeah, well, maybe they are actually. Maybe they're not fit for streaming. You know what I mean? And it's tough because numbers hit all of us. It hits all of us. It makes us sad. It's normal. There's months that are great for streaming. July, you know what I mean? Summer vacation, most people are free. You know, it's great. People are off school. It's amazing. And then there's months like February where, you know, January, it's after New Year, after the, you know, the holidays, and people are getting back into work and they're too tired to watch streams when they go home. Same for school. They go back to school, but then they go home and they have other shit to do than to watch someone stream. So your numbers are obviously going to go a bit down because that's just how it is. And it hurts. It's going to make your little heart hurt. But you can't just scream about it all the time because unfortunately, as much as getting your feelings out feels nice, your viewers are probably going to be offended by it. Because truth is, they're people, they're not just the numbers. Yeah, I love the fucking sad music that starts playing. Lovely. Yeah, it's just people are gonna be a bit sad because to them they're gonna be like, so you see me as a number? And truly we don't. We just get hurt because obviously we feel like more of a failure if we lose people. We're like, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I am not entertaining anymore, and I've definitely had those periods. I've had those nights where I sit in my bed and I'm like, maybe my career is officially going down. And after that, I'm just not gonna be a streamer anymore. Because I'm failing. And it's rough to think like that, but at the same time, you have to think about all the people that do give you their time of day. And I know it's dumb to be like, oh, think about the 3 people that watch you. Yeah, there could be 400, but you do have to think about that. Because I've seen people that just constantly say, I'm a failure, I wish I could get back to when I had a lot of viewers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that makes me want to watch them even less. It does. It makes me, like, sad for them, but to a point where I feel like watching them would be out of pity. Not because I care, but out of pity. And that's terrible. That is not how you want people to feel when they click on your stream. Yeah, that is just, numbers will get to your head, and it is a normal, human, natural thing. What's problematic is when you become obsessed. And it might happen. It might happen. Because it happened to so many people I know. The biggest mistake I've seen people do is get a super expensive model and then think, oh, my model's so pretty, people are gonna rush to watch me. No, they won't. No, they won't. They could not give a shit less about how cute your model is. You might get some Twitter clout, sure. Post a cute video of it and then get 1,000 likes. That will not translate in viewers at all. I can believe me. Twitter followers have nothing to do with Twitch followers at all. Do you want to know the first thing I would recommend you spend your money on? That is important. The first thing you should spend your money on when you get a paycheck or when you know that you have money saved aside? A microphone. Your audio is the most important thing that makes everyone stay or leave. Audio is super fucking important. If you sound like you're on a PS4 microphone, no one's gonna stay because it is painful, it hurts your ears, and audio is just way more important than anything else. Video quality can even, like, be aside. You can even not have a VTuber model at all or a webcam at all. But if you sound good, people want to watch you. Sounding good is super important because voice just, like, it expresses everything. It has feelings, it has, you know, it makes you feel either comfortable or uncomfortable. And yeah, no, microphones are super fucking important. You need to be able to sound decent so that people aren't like, oh my god, my ears hurt. I can't listen to them anymore. How expensive for the microphone? You don't need to spend a lot of money. There's really good microphones that are pretty cheap. Mine is not a good example. My dad bought me this as a gift. I have the Rode NT USB. And I think it's about 200 bucks, so it is quite expensive. But there are microphones that I think are like maybe 60 bucks, and they sound really good. If you like filter them correctly through OBS, you can make them sound pretty fucking decent. And then maybe later you can invest in something that like sounds even better. But just, you can't sound like you're in a toilet about to take a dump, you know what I mean? Like, that would be terrible. That is a lot of big advice. If you guys have any questions now, I'm ready to take. You can ask anything. Anything, okay? Don't feel like, ooh, my question is stupid. Okay, we're not in high school. I'm not gonna be the mean teacher that tells you, put your hand down, that was stupid. No. Ask me anything, okay? Do you consider yourself as a top tier streamer? No. I do know that I'm in the 0.004% of Twitch or something. So I am definitely proud of my success, but I'm not top tier at all. How did you start out with marketing? You mentioned that you really got into it. I watched hundreds, and I do mean it, hundreds of videos about how to grow as a streamer on Twitch. So many. And I just took all the tips, merged them together, and I was like, okay, how do I start now? Yeah, got into a lot of communities, spoke with a lot of streamers, and like slowly building trust so that maybe they can give me some tips and stuff. Twitter was definitely the biggest one though. Twitter was the big one. Answering people's posts regularly so that they trust you and they're like, oh, like, you're a fun person. Like, you seem nice. I like you. You know, retweeting things that people might need, etc. Don't just do it out of, I want to market myself. Do it out of kindness, and then maybe on the side you're like, this could help me as well. What stats are required for full-time? There's no stats required. In my opinion, I went full-time the moment that I told myself, this is my salary. I make enough for it to be a salary. That's it. You choose whenever it's full-time, honestly. Full-time just means that you're working on it full-time. That's it. Alright, do you want me to... I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Do you want me to tell you how much I make from ads every single month? So far... if you combine, basically my statistics right now are between the 16th of September and the 16th of October. Like it's the in the last month. I have made 28 bucks from ads. Knowing that I've received raids with like 500, 700, maybe 1,000 people. And honestly, you know, I would be grateful. $28 is, you know, decent, you would say, but the problem is it's at my size. I am someone who almost has 30,000 followers. So that's not much, because a poor little streamer that has 10 viewers would probably make like not even $1 per month from it. Ads are just not something that you should rely on Twitch at all. Personally, I would disable them if I could. Twitch does not allow you to disable them, but I would disable them if I could, because I don't like to break the immersion of my viewers. And I honestly don't like... I don't know, I don't like... I think ads are annoying, and honestly, the financial compensation is not worth it. How much do sponsorships pay? That depends. And the problem with sponsorships is that a lot of them don't pay you. Ha! Funnily enough, I know, that's probably gonna be the most heartbroken thing. Most sponsors don't want to fucking pay you. You're not supposed to laugh. That's serious, and it's really sad, unfortunately. Most sponsorships just expect you to promote them for free. That's it. Some companies are like, here, have a stream key for a game that you can play. We're not gonna pay you to play it though, just have the game and then you can play it. And it's like, I'm giving you free advertisement for a stream key? Alright, well, no. Sorry, no. Maybe a controversial question, but is there a lot of drama/conflict behind the scenes in VTubing that casual viewers are not aware of? The thing is, it's like anything, right? It's like any fandom. The moment you put a bunch of people together, arguing is bound to happen. Problems are bound to happen. And I hate when people are like, the VTubing community used to be so welcoming and now it's so bad. No, there used to be like 20 people and now we're thousands and thousands and thousands of people. That's why. You can't just expect everyone to be nice, unfortunately. So the moment a small community turns into a big community, there's more probability that bad people will be in it. And then again, there's the difference between drama and then crimes. There's people that get called out for things that are vile, absolutely disgusting. And then you're like, yeah, that person should be fucking kicked out. And then there's people who expose them, you know, their personal issues. And you're like, did we need to know that? Alright, we've reached the 4 hours. Congratulations, everybody. Whoo! Thank you so much for being here today. I'm glad you guys seem to enjoy it. In 2 weeks, we're having a new one on the 30th of October, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 30th of October, I'll be with a guest. Probably with a logo and with a background. So it'll be really cool, really organized, really pretty, and I'm excited. Alright, be tuned, everyone, for it. Thank you for being here today. I had a lot of fun. Please join my Discord. We have a lot of movie nights and fun events planned. I'm gonna post my schedule tonight. So yeah, schedule for the next week. You guys have a really great day. I love you so, so much. And I'll see you again soon. Probably tomorrow, actually. Mwah! Bye-bye. I love you all. Bye.